Alrighty, folks, it's Farrell with Crowd Surfing. We are down here at the Mount Ogden Grill for the Robert Burns Supper. I don't know who Robert Burns is, and I'm willing to find out. So let's go in and talk to some people, and maybe they can let us know who that is. Alrighty, I am here with
Brooke Montgomery.
And can you tell me a little bit about what we're doing down here?
This is the first ever Robert Burns Supper that is being held in Ogden. Robert Burns was a famous Scottish poet. He has been revered world over. These events happen all over the world.
I'm here with...
I'm Dan Hill.
And can you tell me a little bit about what's going on down here tonight?
Yeah, this is the Robbie Burns Supper. The Utah Scottish Association puts them on. We've actually got 3 of them going on this year. We've already had the one that's down at BYU, and this is the Ogden one, obviously. And we have another one that'll be in Salt Lake next weekend.
Alrighty, I am here with...
Christopher Call.
And can you tell me a little bit about what it is that you have here on the table?
Yes, this is a Burns collection I put together of tankards and porringers on the old quakes, whiskey quakes that they used to drink out of for toast and friendship purposes.
We have a lot of people here in Ogden that have Scottish heritage, and so if they wanted to celebrate it, this is the perfect way to celebrate it. So that's what we're here to do.
So is it a fundraiser? What is it for?
This is to celebrate the life and works of Robert Burns, Scotland's favorite poet.
Oh, really? So everybody just comes and eats and bagpipes and just has a good time, huh?
Exactly right.
This is the old porringers they used to eat out of every morning, their oats every day. We've got, this is the oldest tankard I have. This is from the late 1700s. It's an old cast piece out of pewter. And this is the type of tankard that he would have drank out of.
I see the kilts and I hear the bagpipes. And is that real bagpipes or is that a recording?
That is real bagpipes. That's Christopher Johnson. He's a graduate of Ben Lomond High School. So he is a native of Ogden as well, and he's back there playing. He will actually be piping the haggis.
I thought haggis was something you ate.
It is something you eat. If you're brave, if you're very brave.
So how long has this been going on?
Oh, gosh. Actually, it's been going on since Robbie Burns' death. Hundreds of years ago.
Oh, so like just locally, though? I mean, have they been doing it in Ogden ever since?
Tonight, actually, all over the world, there are Burns Suppers going on.
Oh, so it's like worldwide huge event then?
Absolutely.
The reason why they had a lid on them was because so many of them had thatched roofs, and things were always falling down out of those thatched roofs that they actually put a lid on them to keep stuff from going inside.
You don't want any extra surprises in your drink?
Now, for the heavy drinkers, this is a quart. This would be the largest one that you could get inside of a pub. And this one is from the early 1800s.
What is haggis? What is it?
Haggis is a poor man's dish. It's basically the leftover bits, the stomach, the liver, the pancreas, all of that. They grind it up. They throw some oatmeal in there. They spice it up so it doesn't taste so bad. Put it in a sheep's stomach and boil it.
The diaspora of Scotland, they went everywhere, and this is one of the places that many of them went.
Here to Ogden, Utah, huh?
Ogden, the whole Intermountain West is actually one of the main places that Scots live, or their descendants.
Very good. All righty. Well, hey, I appreciate your time. Thank you for talking with me.
No problem. Thanks very much.
Now, this is a half gill. This is how they'd measure out their whiskey when they're going to drink it at the pub. Instead of getting a shot glass, you'd ask for a half gill, or you would ask for a whole gill.
That's a lot of whiskey.
That's right. And this is a flagon. You probably don't ever see that, but this is what they would keep some of the drink in, and they would pour it out from that.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very appetizing, but they're going to have some here tonight, right?
Yes, we have a real haggis tonight, and we're calling it the Old World Haggis. We have what we're calling a New World Haggis, which is made with hamburger, for those who are less daring.
So you don't want entrails, and you can have regular hamburger and still tell everybody, Hey, I ate haggis.
Exactly. I mean, there is such a thing as vegetarian haggis. So if you can have vegetarian haggis, you can have hamburger haggis, and it counts.
That actually sounds like something on Fear Factor. Haggis.
Yes, absolutely.
All righty. Well, hey, I really appreciate talking with me. Thank you.
Thanks.
All righty. I am here with
Randy Bailiff.
And Randy, can you tell me a little bit about what's going on down here tonight?
Well, tonight we are commemorating the actual birth of Robert Burns, the famous poet from Scotland. He's most notably known for writing Auld Lang Syne, which we all sing,
At New Year's.
At New Year's, absolutely. And it is his birthday today, and this is celebrated basically all over the world.
The poor people would make their silverware out of cattle horns, and they would carve them out. Where the rich people had sterling silver, and they had, if they were really rich, they'd have a mustard spoon, a salt spoon, and a teaspoon. And then, of course, they also had silver tongs, so they didn't have to touch things.
You dressed up for the occasion.
Well, my boss says, hey, come down there. I'm like, okay, he didn't ever tell me what it is.
Who are you?
I went to some formal event in the same kind of thing at Weber State, so, no one cares. I'm not embarrassed at all. But I have no shame, so it's all right. Okay. So how did that song that he wrote come known with New Year's?
I don't really know the answer to that one. It's just that everybody picked it up, and it just became the song that everybody sings.
Maybe it's easy to hum to, maybe, when you've, been celebrating.
It could have been. But he's most notably known for being a poet. And so the words were written, somebody else, wrote the music for it.
Oh, so he didn't actually say, I'm going to write this song. He was just, someone just put words to
He
his.
was a poet, and, and so everything he did was basically a poem.
And then most people wouldn't realize, but the country of Russia was the first country to ever put Robert Burns on a postage stamp, which is interesting because you would have thought that Scotland or England would have done that, but you got to remember that Scotland's been repressed for the last 300 years because of England. So of course it wasn't England that put him on first; it was Russia. And the reason why they put him on was because he was like the poor people's poet, the bard of the world, and he symbolized the kind of the essence of the working man and his struggle to survive, and that's why he became a famous poet in Russia.
Alrighty, I am here with
Sarah, Anita, Mercedes, Charlene, Julie.
And can you guys tell me a little bit about what you're doing down here?
Vegas.
Posted the event on Facebook or shared it, and I had went to the festival last year and decided that this sounded like a good time.
So it's her fault that you're here.
Yes, it's all Julie's fault.
Definitely Julie's fault.
They have a number of libraries around the world that hold his works. BYU happens to be one of them. They have a small collection of his original works. The University of Glasgow in Scotland actually has a center for him, and you can actually get a degree, in writing and so forth in that part of the university.
So I guess the question I have is I talked to somebody earlier and they was talking about haggis.
Yeah.
Are you going to eat some haggis?
Yeah, there's two types of haggis. The one over in Scotland, I don't even know if it'd be legal over here.
So you can get mad at her because you guys are on camera now.
Sure.
Yes.
No.
I'm super excited to kind of meet some other Scots and see what's up. This is my first supper, so I'm really excited.
So, and this lovely lady right here, I gotta go over and talk to her. She's upset at me because I didn't dress. What should I be wearing that's appropriate?
Tartan. Of some,
A what?
a kilt, a tartan. You should be wearing something like this.
But you don't have one on. Look, we're both wearing Levi's. Look at that.
Yeah, but mine are hidden, and I'm not interviewing people.
And these are the very first stamps that Russia ever did. It wasn't until 1966 that England did their first stamps, and these are they right here. Of course, Robert Burns with the Queen next to him. And then these were an edition that came out just a few years later in 1996. And these are some of his famous poems, some of the wording put on stamps.
They said they have with entrails and they said they have that here, but they have I don't know, hamburger haggis, fake hamburger haggis. It's like hamburger helper.
Haggis, yeah. So they'll actually have a blessing on the haggis. That's an important part of Scottish tradition, is the haggis itself. But yeah, it came from the sheep. They used the entrails, the gut, everything else to make it. They mixed it with oats, which they still do, and a lot of other things. And I've had it. I was over in Scotland last year. It's pretty nasty stuff. The American version, it's one of those things you have to get used to.
Is that an Argyle sweater? What's that called?
It is.
And are the Scottish known for their disco shirts?
Yes. Have you ever been? Of course they are. Scottish disco. Haven't you heard?
I haven't.
Oh, that's disappointing once again.
Well, I'm known to disappoint people.
Oh, it's okay.
Alrighty, guys. Well, hey, thank you for talking to me. I really appreciate it.
This is the Luckin Booth, and the Luckin Booth was kind of a good luck charm and also a sweetheart charm, and it features kind of two hearts and a crown, and it's called Luckin Booth because there were these booths, these little shops built along the church in Edinburgh, and they sold these things to people. They're mainly made out of silver, and Luckin means locked, and they were called lock booths because when they would go home, these were the first permanent shops in Edinburgh, and dating back from the 16 and 1700s. And so this is they had those booths, those Luckin booths, until 1817. So when Burns went to Edinburgh, he would have seen these things, and it's quite possible that he may have purchased one or more for some of his loves during his life to give them.
That's kind of like Taco Bell. That's really not Mexican food. That's like American
food with a Mexican name. Yeah. So, but I don't think very many people would try the real haggis if they really offered it here, if they knew what was in it. Not going to happen.
I don't know. People eat gizzards at the gas stations. Who knows?
Well, that's true. Yep. Ham hocks, and pickled.
Alrighty, I'm here with
Diane Scott, treasurer of the Utah Scottish Association.
So can you tell me a little bit about what you've got here?
We have the clan badge and a stick pin for the kilt pins, and then just badges and pins for the association, and most of these are for our 30th anniversary, which was back in 2004.
This is the crowning piece, and I'm sorry that it's kind of covered up, but what it is it's 4 editions of the Burns, of his complete works. It was the 1803, which was the 4th edition, or the 2nd London edition, and this is the one that after Burns died, his wife Jean Armour and her brother, his brother Gilbert Burns, put it together so that they could pay off their debts, raise funds to take care of the children, and also to take care of Burns's mother, and also to pay off the debts on Gilbert Burns' farm.
So how long were you in Scotland for?
I was there for 12 days, saw about 2 castles a day.
A lot of castles in Scotland.
A lot of castles in Scotland, yeah.
So because I've never been anywhere, so I'm very curious.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, you made it here.
Well, yeah, it's in Ogden. My probation, I can't leave Ogden.
Oh, I see.
But when they talk, right? Because I would say they have an accent, but to them they don't have an accent.
Right.
Is it hard to understand what they're saying to you?
Very much so. If they speak it's almost a form of English and Gaelic. Gaelic was the original language. So you mix the two together, lad, and you get some very strange words coming out.
I bet. I've heard the guy from AC/DC talk. I would assume it's like that.
Right.
And so this edition is unique in the fact that it was the first 4-volume. It had all of the works that Gilbert Burns could amass, plus a history of all the poems written by his brother. And this was the first large compilation that they put together in 1803, just 7 years after Burns died.
Very well. All right, well, hey, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about what it is that you have on? It looks like you have like war medals or something.
Well, no, it's not exactly war medals, but this is actually, a black tie event. So it's a tuxedo type top anyway. And we have the traditional sporran down here. These go back to the early Scots that wore these in battle. They didn't have anything to carry things in, so they came up with sporrans.
So we are going to be celebrating our 40th anniversary. And so these are worn on the kilts, or the badges can be worn on the scarves or clan hats.
And you have some delicious treats here as well, I see.
Yes, one of our board members had made these wonderful treats, so they're on sale. So,
All righty, thank you for talking with me. I appreciate it.
thanks.
Yeah, really, yeah. You ready? All righty, I'm here with
Chris.
And Chris, obviously a bagpipe player, correct?
Yes.
So where would you learn to play the bagpipes?
So I went to Ben Lomond High School out here in Ogden, and instead of a normal pep band, I decided to join the bagpipe corps.
So the question, because that thing is like loud.
Yes.
I bet your parents just loved you when you first got one of those and started.
I practiced outside.
Oh, so the neighbors liked you then?
Yeah, they still would make requests from a couple blocks away.
Someone's yelling, "Play Freebird!"
Yeah, they do that. It doesn't work though, trust me.
I bet not.
There's also
Oh, look, he's packing a knife.
packing a knife. This is called a ski-and-do, and it's tradition. They always carried a small weapon with them, so now it's part of the attire. My outfit is my family tartan, which is Bailey, but it's the spelling Baillie, not what you would think. Yeah, and so this is their family tartan, and and as well as the sash that I wear up here with the actual Clan Bailey monogram on here.
And now the address to a haggis. Fair far your honest sonsy face, great chieftain of the puddin' race, aboon the I attack your place, pinch, stripe, or therm. Weel are you worthy o' grace, as lands my arm.
So, how long have you been playing?
Since high school, it's since 2004, 10 years around there.
Oh, wow, really? So do you get to go to a lot of places and play? I mean, is there a big demand for bagpipe players? Or
I don't know. I know the people here, and they keep asking us back, so I keep coming.
Yeah, for sure.
The groaning trencher there you feel, your heart beats like a distant hill. Your pin will help to mend the mill in time of need, while through your pores the dews distill like amber bead. His knife, see rustic labour decked, and cut you up with ready slit, trenching your gushing entrails brecht like only ditch. And then, oh, what a glorious sight, warm reeking, rich. Then horn for horn they stretch and strive, they tack the hindmost on they drive.
In World War I, it was kind of interesting because, again, they wore kilts into battle. And there was actually, with each regiment, there was always a bagpipe player that would play as they went into battle. And it was written in some of the Germans in the foxholes. They knew how bad the Scottish were to fight. Otherwise, you were going to lose. Because the Scots, they have that reputation. They do not stop. Last man standing type thing. So the Germans would write in their diaries or their journals when they heard the bagpipes. A lot of them would turn and run because they pretty much knew they'd had it.
It just seems like your face is turning red and looks like you're going to pass out when you do it. I mean, have you ever passed out?
I haven't. It's been known to happen. Only when you first start, though. You get used to it.
After a while, you figure you get a little long-winded and you can...
Oh, yeah.
I'd be a good bagpipe player then. I'm pretty long-winded.
Want to try?
No. No.
Not in public, yeah.
All right, well, hey, I appreciate you talking to me. Thank you.
Of course. Good to meet you.
Till their wheel-swelled kites belive are bent like drums. The old guide man, maist like to rive, bethink it, hums. Is there that o'er this French ragout, or olio that wad sta a sou, or fricassee would make her spew with perfect scunner, looks down with sneering, scornful view on sick a dinner? Poor devil, see him o'er his trash, as feckless as a withered rash.
So the bagpipes actually they were kind of desensitized to it, from the fact that they would hurt it. But, you really couldn't leave your post. You had to fight, but you're probably going to die. And they knew that.
Very well. Well, they're mean. I don't know if they're mean people, but obviously they're hard-headed people because they'll fight to the end, right?
Yeah, they'll fight to the end. Absolutely. That's what they're known for. So, because it's in the UK, the troops from Scotland, support us in Afghanistan and everywhere else pretty much. So they send Scottish regiments over there, as well. So.
All righty. Well, hey, I appreciate your time. Thank you for talking with me.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's going to do it for us down here at the Ogden Grill for the Robert Burns Supper. They've got some food and some haggis. I'd have a big old plate of that haggis. I'm not going to, but I ought to. No, I'm all right. Thank you, though. There was a time where you had to save everything and eat it, but now we don't have to do that anymore.
It's the poor man's dinner, because the rich folks got all the good cuts of meat. The poor guys are left with all the innards and the organ meat. So you mix it with oatmeal to make it nice and thick and spices. They cook it in a sheep's stomach. Voila, it's dinner.
Well, bless you for trying it.
The first time I went to Scotland, the hotel had it on the breakfast buffet. And my wife had it for breakfast every morning.
You'd have to be hungry, I think. All right, well, maybe I will give it a try and let you know what it tastes like.
His spindle shank a deed whiplash, his knee in it, through bloody flood or field to dash. Oh, how unfit! But mark the rustic haggis fed, the trembler earth resounds his tread. Clap in his wally knee a blade, he'll make it whistle, and legs and arms and heads will sned like taps a thistle. Ye powers, what mak mankind your care, and dish them out their bill of fare. Old Scotland wants nae skinking ware that jops in luggies. But if you wish her grateful prayer, gie her a haggis.